The wiser you become, the quieter you grow. That's the essence of quiet intelligence, a kind of strength that doesn't need to be seen, yet changes everything around it. Most people think intelligence is loud, full of opinions, confidence, and display. But the Stoics remind us, the sharpest minds are calm, the clearest thoughts are silent. So today, let's reflect on 10 quiet attitudes that reveal true wisdom, the kind of intelligence that doesn't shout, yet speaks to eternity. 1. They listen more than they speak. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You learn nothing when you're talking." Smart people understand that silence is not emptiness, it's space for understanding. They let others express themselves fully, watching patterns, tones, emotions. They don't rush to respond, they wait to perceive. Because to listen deeply is to think clearly. 2. They know they don't know everything. Epictetus said, "It is impossible to learn that which one thinks one already knows." True intelligence begins with humility. Quiet people understand that certainty closes the mind, while curiosity keeps it open. They'd rather ask than assume, rather wonder than claim to have answers. This humility protects them from arrogance and opens doors that pride keeps closed. 3. They don't show off. You can always tell who's secure in their wisdom. They don't need to prove it. They let their actions, not their words, speak. Their calm confidence unsettles those who mistake volume for value. In a world obsessed with being seen, quiet intelligence chooses substance over show. Because silence, when earned, is power. 4. They are humble, not because they think less of themselves, but because they understand the scale of life. Seneca once wrote, "We are all subject to the same storms." No amount of intellect exempts anyone from hardship. That's why wise people don't place themselves above others. They see strength in empathy, not dominance, and their humility becomes a mirror, reflecting grace even in chaos. 5. They have fewer close friends but deeper connections. It's not that they dislike people, it's that they value depth over noise. Their friendships are built on trust, not convenience, on mutual growth, not distraction. When they speak, it matters. When they listen, you feel heard. Quiet intelligence seeks connection, not attention, and that makes their presence unforgettable. 6. They ask questions that change the room. Not the kind that seek validation, but the kind that seek truth. Questions like, "What if I'm wrong?" Or, "What do we truly value here?" Their curiosity isn't random, it's purposeful. They question not to challenge others, but to deepen understanding. And through that curiosity, they build clarity, both within themselves and those around them. 7. They notice mistakes, not to criticize, but to improve. They're observers of patterns, seekers of systems. When something breaks, they ask, why, not who. When they fail, they reflect, not react. This mindset, the calm analysis instead of emotional reaction, is pure Stoicism in motion. Because every mistake is a chance to master oneself. 8. They love to read, but more importantly, they love to reflect. Books are their quiet mentors. Each page opens a dialogue between the mind and the soul. They don't just consume knowledge, they digest it. Marcus Aurelius didn't just read. He wrote down what he learned from every experience. That's what turns reading into wisdom, the act of reflection. 9. They trust their gut. Not out of impulse, but awareness. Their intuition is sharpened through reflection, observation, and empathy. They sense tension, unspoken motives, and emotional shifts. Because quiet people feel the world as much as they think about it. They don't rely on logic alone, they read the silence between words. That's how their intuition becomes insight, grounded, not impulsive. 10. They don't like to argue, not out of fear but wisdom. They've learned that most arguments are noise, people defending ego, not truth. So they choose peace over pride. Marcus Aurelius once advised, "You don't have to have an opinion about everything. Quiet intelligence knows when to step back, because sometimes the greatest strength is to walk away without resentment. In the end, intelligence isn't measured by how loudly you speak, but how deeply you understand. The Stoics lived by this truth, that calmness is clarity, and humility. The Stoics lived by this truth, that calmness is clarity, and humility is strength. When your mind is still, wisdom whispers, and in that silence, you find yourself.